Ohayou gozaimasu. Hello, hello, hello. Levels all good? The ad break starts just as I start. I gotta fix that. That's really annoying that it comes in the first minute. My thinking was when I set that up that it would actually be playing while the intro card was there, and so we could just skip that whole thing. Most people are not there anyway, and then we'd have like 90 minutes or so. I think it's 60 minutes of like uninterrupted ad stuff. I'm not trying to maximize ad revenue. I don't really care about it. Anyway. Only 286 days until Jungun Ginko Festival. I don't know what that is. Jinkugayan Ginko Festival. Seems familiar. I think I probably should know about that. Anyway. Right away, derailing. Flyfish, I noticed you didn't try the uptime yet. We're not doing that anymore, are we? I fixed the problem and now we're not gonna do the time thing. Anyway, weird start. Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's Tuesday here in Japan. You will notice that we do not have a samurai on the block yet. We will be doing that soon, but I've spent so long on it that I can't bear to put it down without being 100% perfect. Chicken Meister's on it. There you go. That's funny. After how long? About 6 months of you saying time, someone else gets there first. How is everyone doing? Yeah, I was working on it yesterday, and in theory, we could have just whacked it on the block today. But I want to take some nice footage. It's the start of the upcoming YouTube video. I want to take some nice footage, pasting it down, and also I'm still, whenever I look at it, there's something else that needs doing, and I could spend another year just doing this, but we've got to get it done soon. I've got a deadline this week. It has to be down, and carving has got to be started. I've got a bit of a busy week actually. Printing now, mostly lurking. Oh, good luck, good luck, good luck. I saw you were carving. I thought you'd be carving today. Decided to quit just as I decided to fix the problem. Okay, let's get carving. Let's switch the scenes. Is everything all good? The title, the chat, the mic, the music. Let's go. Trying to print, want to carve. I know that feeling. Flick it over. Let's go. We in focus. It's okay. Okay. I need a nice key. Still working on the bonsai. If anyone is new here, quickly. Rocky, this is the image we're working on. Bam bam. We're doing the key lines. And off she goes. If anyone is confused, we can pop it up later. But we've been working on this print for a while now, so I think most of you know what we're doing. I'm just gonna start wherever I feel. I was having trouble with the camera this morning, that's why I was a little bit late in starting. It was, I think perhaps, I bought some, when I set up this new studio, I bought some new cables. The cables I had, like the USB-Cs I had, were a little bit short for the current setup, so I bought a bunch of cables. But because I wanted everything to look a certain way, I bought these really nice braided purple cables. But I think think they're not as fast as the ones I used to have. Little mist carving here. Ever vigilant when we're doing the ice ski work. So yeah, I think they're not as fast as the other cables. So if it goes on 4K, which is sort of like the automatic setup for this, well, it's just the default the camera wants to go to when I reconnect it. It wants to go to 4K. And if I let it go to 4K, then it starts to lag. And this morning, the option for switching it to 1080 wasn't coming up. Color separations. Everyone's making prints. That's so cool. We love to hear it. And if you're not making prints up there, why not? Get making a print. It's easy. Just get started. The first one will be humbling. I'm sure everyone here who's making prints can attest to that. But that doesn't mean it's not fun. So I've been talking about wanting to take some time to bang this out in my free time so we can move on with other stuff, because this is getting a bit tedious to do on stream. It's actually quite tricky work to do on stream. I feel like I'm going really slow. I just want to have quiet time and do this block. It's not so fun to do in little segments like this. It's carved really delicately. It's also carved like just at the border of when I was making this, I was thinking that because this is my project, I'm not working with anyone else. Like, I can make the block the depth I want. I can make it really shallow, and I can sort of use it as an example to say, listen, it's not, the key is not to just bang everything really deep. It's to print carefully. That's my thinking. Oh yeah, the Discord notifications are really random. They're slow, or they're really quick. I don't know. They send them out in waves, I think. But anyway, because of that, it's like really delicate work, and the lines are really thin, and the wood is not. It's not bad, but it's not the best. So I have to be really, really careful, and it's a little bit tedious to see me not moving much, not making much progress on stream. I got a set carved, but I can't print till 2 weeks from now because I'm working on a future design tonight. Oh, that's fun though. That's always fun. As long as we're making progress towards prints. We don't need finished works. We just need momentum. Need the brush. Oh. Yeah, so as a result of the camera acting up, I put it on automatic ISO, and it like massively flares up like that every now and again. I'd have stuff to share if I can figure out how to print. I don't know what advice to give you. I do. There's a few things. Probably your moisture levels are wrong in your paper. That's usually the first thing people are doing wrong. You can't print very smooth colours on completely sodden paper. It's surprisingly not as dry as you'd imagine. So if in doubt, work towards a little bit drier than you think is probably optimum. It's much easier to add water. Give the stack an hour to like balance out if you've used too little. Going the other way around, it's annoying. You have to take them out and like wave them in the air and stuff. The ISO is actually going crazy, isn't it? Maybe that was a mistake. If I try and change these things while the stream is running, though, it usually crashes. Anyway, it's not fun to talk about technology while we're doing these streams. Unless it's archaic. Okay, so this week, I'll be going. Maybe Dave talked about it. I didn't catch the last stream. Maybe he did talk about it, that he's going to Orme. Did he tell you why he's going to Orme? Making some wood sandwiches. Yeah. Well, the first stage in making some wood sandwiches, before we glue them together, we need to cut them. I don't know what he's thinking. We took some wood last time to Kiba to get them sliced. We got the wood that had been in Orme sort of seasoning. And then I made a trip to Nagoya one time, collected some more wood. I guess that was it last spring? Kiss me's, thank you. Already 6 months. Yeah, no, I'm always shocked by the dates. Thank you so much. Arigato. Ome trip. Yeah. We're gonna make some wood blocks, but we need to make some blanks first. So the plan is there's also a bunch of wood blocks that need to be taken back to Orme. So I will go tomorrow morning quite early over to Asakusa. I will then pick up a car, a rental there, a van, and I'll head round to Mokankan and load a bunch of wood blocks that have been printed now but don't need to be printed anytime soon, so they'll go back into storage in Orme. Then me and Dave will drive up there, unload the wood blocks and load in some new wood that then needs taking to Kiba, which is like Tokyo Bay area. So we're going Asakusa. I'm going from where I live in Saitama down to Asakusa, then up to Orme. Dave will stay in Orme. I'll take the wood there, down all the way to Kiba, and then back to Asakusa and drop the wood off. And then I'll obviously go home. Hopefully, can do everything all in time. Get the car dropped off. I think our drop-off time is around 5:30. Sounds like a busy day. Yeah, it's gonna be busy. But I think Dave will stay in Orme and he will do a stream from there on Thursday. I don't actually know his plan. The wood we're going to take back, though, I'm not sure what his plan is. We took some wood, and if you're one of my patrons, you'll have seen the video I made where I'm stacking wood for... This is tomorrow. I'm stacking some wood to season it. And my thinking was it was going to be there for like, what? 2 to 5 years, something like that, to let it season. The wood had already been seasoned. It had been outside or inside, wherever. But it wasn't freshly cut down. We have no idea how long it had been seasoned for. So my thinking was better safe than sorry. Maybe he's thinking that wood, or maybe there is still some left from the last time we took. I'm trying to remember now. Last time we picked up wood. Took it down to Kiba. There must have been some left. I'm curious about the Nagoya thing. Wood, that's one of the places we get from, yeah. There was a lumberyard there that had a bunch. You guys remember that? Me and Asuka Sensei, we drove down there. It was like 1,000 kilometers driving in one day. It was a lot. So compared to that, tomorrow is actually quite an easy day. Yeah, that time we brought that wood back, actually, I think we overloaded the van a little bit. It was sitting a little low on the suspension, so drove back kind of very carefully. Friday morning affected? No, we should be fine for Friday morning, don't worry. It's not an overnight trip. It shouldn't be too bad. We've done it before. And I think we were pleasantly surprised by how quickly we managed to do it last time. Although my shoulder's hurting, and lugging those really big pieces of wood up that stairs, I'm not super excited for. But on Thursday, we do have an appointment for the chiropractor. I finally booked in because yesterday I was working and I don't know, my body is just falling apart. I just haven't taken care of myself. I used to do running and swimming, and then I just from September I just stopped and I sat and I sat and I sat and have been sitting ever since. And my body's kind of screaming at me to start moving. I keep making plans on doing yoga, but my plan now is to actually do yoga in the morning, start work a little bit later. I'm not having lunch anyway, so I'm doing more than the work day as is. So if I take half an hour in the morning, do some yoga before work. Obviously I can't really do that on stream days. But the problem is I keep coming up with excuses. Oh no, I just got to get this tracing done. I'm sick of it. I got to get it done. So we'll start that after the tracing's done. And then I know what's going to happen. The tracing is going to be done. And then I'm going to find another reason. Oh, there is another reason, actually. There's one coming up. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I'll find another reason to postpone looking after myself. Am I on camera? God, the ISO is really bad, isn't it? Yeah, chilly lungs when running. It's since having having a kid. Is that puts him in a very passive role? Having a kid. Since my son was born. That's a nicer way of saying it. Um, I've been a lot less active actually. Different types of active actually. But there's definitely less time for like exercising, and we used to do loads of hiking, and now it's a little bit of a, you know, it's a little bit trickier. We have to do smaller mountains if we go. We've been on a few with him, and he's getting to that age where he can start to do some longer ones. Was it last weekend? The weekend before we did a mountain. Not a very big one, but it was good fun. A lot more lifting, yeah. I think that's what's done my shoulder in, to be honest. You've been, the climbing when they walk on your chest and stuff, stand on your shoulders. He's been doing that a lot, so I think it's this motion that's done it. Also, it's sleeping. Clara, I doubt Clara would get a chance to meet your son since he'll be in a daycare. Clara, Clara as in Fumi's kid. I haven't met Fumi yet. Maybe I'll meet her tomorrow, but I think they're probably skiing. My guess is I won't get to meet Dave's daughter. The other thing I have to do while at Mokohankan is pick up a block. I'll be starting printing. Perhaps a block has already been chosen, but I assume not. So before we take the wood to Orme, I'll see if I can get Dave to choose a block. And then after I drop the car off on the way back, I will take a block home with me. I probably won't start printing this week. I'll do it maybe Monday, Tuesday. There's a chance that Tuesday we could be doing some printing on stream. Depend on the block. I don't want to do key blocks on stream, probably. Although not that bad, I don't think. In the US, cherry is milled and racked for drying with relatively short time periods for harvest. Perhaps Dave is thinking he needs to get more stuff. Hold and slice. Yeah, but the thing is, we do have quite a bit of sliced stuff at Mokohankan. But I mean, it'll go soon. Do need to get a good move on making blocks. I guess that'll be one of my jobs coming up soon. Are you on camera? No. Yeah. They're very light, but he's actually quite dense. He eats a lot. But yeah, it takes a toll. It takes a toll if it's like a lot of carrying, right? It's also like riding his bike. He's 1.5. He's like rapid on his bike. This weekend we went to a little nature sort of walk. Most of it was actually closed off, but there's like a little nature reserve not so far from our house. Um, yeah, it's not. You think nature reserve, maybe you're thinking like a big national park. It's not like that. It's like a small little path with some trees and sort of it's under conservation. But anyway, we went there and he rode his bike off on these little off-road tracks. Really, really good. It's like an hour riding his bike at 1.5. I'm kind of impressed by him going over all the bumps and stuff. It's good fun, you know. I've really, really been trying to sort of fix the work-life balance situation, and it's been going well. Um, I've been spending weekends with my family. We've been going places. We went to saw the great grandparents this weekend, which was very nice. They gave us a bunch of homemade miso and dried persimmons. Some proper dark fermented miso, really, really good. So yeah, that's been going really well. I've been all around a little bit more light and pleasant recently. Things got a little bit dark and gloomy towards the end of last year, so the only thing I need to fix now is my body aches. It's really not very good. There'll be a little bit of an upset to that, but like a reasonable one this time. I'll be starting a new work for Asuka Sensei. That'll be coming anytime this week, so that's my evenings now for the next couple months. I'm going to be working on a key block. I think I'll probably just be doing the key block on this design, and then maybe the color blocks will be passed to the other apprentices. But the deadline this time is very reasonable. What's that? I'm not sure. I'm guessing Asaka Sensei will be listed as the carver on that print. I'm not so sure. So I don't know if I can show you the image or not. But it might be cool to carve some of that on on stream. I'll have to ask him and see if it's okay. How much is this allowed to be seen? Don't want to miss any little bits here. Good, good, good. Uh, for us, we'll cut them, depends on the piece of wood, we'll cut them to around 4-5 mils when we make ours for Mokohankan. The bad news on this woodblock print is that I started doing this just around the same time that Bjorn from ACM Bonsai was beginning to build his house. He was in the planning stage of building a house when I started this project. And I think just before the stream, actually, I saw a little Instagram post of him standing next to the builders thanking them, meaning that the house is finished before the key block is even done, which is like really kind of hurt my soul quite a bit that they built an entire house before I finished the dark lines of the print. But I mean, it is what it is. Let's not dwell on it too much. I really thought this would be like a 3-month project, maybe like half a year at the most. And then right as I started this project, I got 1, 2, 3. I got so many projects just come in all at the same time. I'd finished it. The actual impetus for this was I finished the project and it had taken its toll on me, and it'd been quite a lot. And I was like really tired, and I said, I need to take a step back for a second and do something maybe a little bit more fun. And I did that for like a month while I was doing all the drawing and stuff, and I was super motivated for it. Messaged people, different nurseries and stuff like that. I got the project going, and just as I was like coming to the end of like finalizing all the drawings and the colors, I got a project and then another project and then tight deadline, and it's just, my life has just been spiraling since that happened. It'd be different if only one guy was building a house. That is very true. Yeah, I know people building a house that have been doing it for 5 years plus, easy. Chipping away at it. This will be out in the market this year, I promise. Uh, and if it's not, take me around the back of the shed or send me up to the big farm upstate. September 29th, 2026 confirmed. That might be actually a funny date to release it. We'll finish it in April and then we'll just hold off until the end of the year. House thing there. It has depressed me a little bit. Everything in due course. Oh, I'm not even on camera. Sorry. Shout at me. Okay, on a slightly different topic, we've talked about books quite a bit, but something else has come out and I'm like so excited. I'm going to say right now, if anyone spoils anything for me, there will be permabans getting thrown about. I don't know how to do it, but and we know that I'm not very good with technology. But there will be permabans getting thrown around if you spoil this for me. I'm going to try my best not to spoil it for you, but unfortunately, you can't. You can't ban me. Although you could. You could boycott. We all know that I'm a big Germ fan, George R. R. Martin. Is anyone else out there watching? No spoilers, but just like, is anyone else watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Because I am incredibly hyped for it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think perhaps it's the greatest adaptation ever made, but I haven't seen the latest episode. Downloaded all the episodes, haven't watched them yet. It's really, really good so far. I don't know how many changes they're going to make. There's a couple of like really small gripes, but I'm completely willing to let them slide, just leave them down to adaptations. There's like some implications with a few of the decisions they made but like on the whole, I think it's probably one of the greatest adaptations ever made. Or like the dialogue is straight from the book, and the stuff they've added sort of feels poignant to the story and the world. It sort of all fits together really, really good. I guess no one else is as excited as I am about it. Never heard of it. The same author who wrote um, Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, and all that. They're some of my favourite books. And he's talking now that there's like, should I read the book first? I think you'll, yeah, no, because I'm really enjoying it. Not only because it's a good show, but also like how really well adapted it is. The first book is called The Hedge Knight, and it's the tale of Duncan Egg, the Song of Ice, not Song of Ice and Fire, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. What's fun is it's like a smaller story. It's less like bombastic. There's less dragons and like world-ending plots. It's just sort of like living down in the mud in that world. It's really, really great. Connected, yeah. It's nine. So there's Game of Thrones, the TV shows now. There's Game of Thrones, then there's The House of the Dragon, and then in between those, about 90 years before the story of the Game of Thrones, these books sort of slot in there, and there's reference to them in the books, and actually in the shows as well. They talk about Sir Duncan the Tall in Game of Thrones when they're flicking through the books and stuff. So they are connected, but they're like sort of in the past. They're not central to the plot of Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah. There's supposed to be a new book of the House of the Dragon ones. This Fire and Blood. I don't know what the new one will be called. Maybe the whole anthology is called Fire and Blood. But yeah, that's a fun book. They're all very different books actually. They're written in very different styles. And I think he's talking about making what 12 Duncan Egg stories, which I mean we'll never see, but we might be getting one of the. We'll definitely be getting a new one of those books because there's only 3 at the moment, and they're quite short novellas. There's only 3 of them at the moment, and there will be more coming out soon because I think he's writing some sort of give the show a few more seasons before it has to do the Game of Thrones thing by going off the rails, you know. Anyway, I'm very hyped. I remember him bringing reference. Yeah. He's a cool character. He's just like a classic knight. Anyway, I encourage anyone to watch it who hasn't given it a chance. It's fun. This is where we make our hard pivot into becoming a Song of Ice and Fire sort of review channel. I just move the woodblock to the side. Uh, Show stuff. Yeah, there's the 3rd episode got released yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to watch it last night. So no spoilers for episode 3. I'm a bit nervous to look at the chat now because maybe people are trolling me. That being said, I do know the plot intimately, and so there's not much spoilers you can do. Like, I kind of know what's going to happen actually. One more impression. Good luck. Good luck. Make it a good one. Hmm. Tricky wood. Tricky wood. Wasn't he on the big? Was Germ on Big Bang? That's sacrilegious. That comment. Awful. George should have AI spit out 2 new books, make $1 billion, and call it a day. No, no. He should finish them. He should definitely do them. And he should probably get help from other writers to do them. But we've waited so long, and we're definitely still going to wait a bunch more time, that they better be perfect by the time we come out. He's dug himself a hole. A mirror needs not. But because of that, standards are very, very high. Which is probably what he's struggling with, to be honest. It's really funny. It's like the past, what, how many years? At least 5 years he's said that he's on 1,500 pages of the book, something like that. But he's been giving the same number for years because I think he keeps rewriting it and then changing his mind. He doesn't have to work another day in his life. He could stop that now. He doesn't have to work now, probably. Just on residuals and stuff, he could probably live a very comfortable life without doing anything. It's not about just like banging out a quick AI slot. This series will never get finished. It will get finished, but probably all the work will be passed on to another writer some point down the line, a successor. I think he's going to release both books at the same time if they get released at all. I haven't heard that theory. Passed on to J.K. Rowling? I don't think so. I don't think that'll ever happen. I wonder what it's like having a whole separate world in your brain. You know what that's like, right? You've been a kid. My brain's still like that. I feel like I'm working in multiple worlds sometimes. Well, we all experience that actually. If we want to get a little bit philosophical, living in a separate world to reality, that's like literally inside of everyone's head. The way you think about the world is not how the world actually is. That's a separate world. Whenever you play video games, if you get immersed enough, living in separate world. I don't think it's that weird of a thing actually. I think we all sort of daydream and drift off. Some would say that's the only real world. The desert of the real. Do we want to get existential? Has everyone left? As soon as I started talking about that. What else? I'm waiting for a couple deliveries. These are not necessarily woodblock related. Although I did get something I can show you a little bit later. I'm waiting for some ceiling hooks. Maybe someone's got some advice on this. I have some gymnastic rings that I'm trying to set up. I've been building a little playroom for my son. Sort of, it'll eventually be his bedroom, but for right now it's just a playroom. He sleeps with us still. Is his style more towards Rowling or Tolkien? I don't know. Is an apple more like an eggplant or a corn? I don't know. It's sort of different. He's obviously really inspired by Tolkien, but I think he's his own thing. Anyway, I'm trying to attach some ceiling hooks so I can put some gymnastic rings up in my son's bedroom so he can sort of swing around on them. But the way this house is built, I don't know too much about this, but there's a couple ways you can get houses built here, maybe all over the world. Maybe it's like a thing that's here. I don't think it's so common in the UK. There's like standard wooden, all the houses are like wooden here, right? There's standard framing, like you put the foundations in, you put some big beams in, and then you do all the framing of the walls. And like some walls, they're non-structural. You can sort of bang them out and make a large living room, whatever. And then other walls, they're integral to holding the roof up and stuff. This house, it has no walls that are not integral to the strength. Like they're not standard framed walls. I don't know how they do it. My thinking is that all the walls were like built off site and then they brought them in as prefabricated units. And so it was probably cheaper to actually build it here, but there was more labour done off site. It's not metal, it's still wood, but it's not standard framed house. And so I'm a little bit nervous because I can't. I'm sure the ceilings are standard. Well, I know that they're standard because I've hung bulb and some lights from the roof before, but I don't actually know like how big the beams are, and it's not really possible to like take part of the roof away and then find a couple beams and put some braces across so I can hang. He's not very heavy, but if I wanted to hang on the gymnastic rings as well, I just don't want to pull the ceiling down. I don't think it's a metal framed house, no. Pat. Pat, what, PR, where's the R coming from? Rothfuss. I'll check him out. I don't know any of his work. A little bit. What time are we on? We're at an hour. If you're curious about the time, there is a command there now, Flyfish. You can just type in and see how long we've been up. You know when it was built? No. Less than 50 years ago. I'm guessing maybe like 20. Possibly as late as 30. Anyway, I'm going to give it a go. I'll use a stud finder and I'll see like sort of the thickness of the wood. Hopefully I'll get enough of an image from that. I bought some hooks and some nice carabiners anyway. The title is The Hedge Knight, right? The first book, or is it? It's Sworn Sword, Mystery Knight, The Hedge Knight, and the whole series is called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Where is my? Let me show you. Could rate him. There you go. There it is. Oh. That's the book we're talking about. This one actually has all 3 novellas in it. I read the book as well, but this is the audiobook. I just re-listened to it. It's a fun book. The casting is so good for that show, you know. The only issue is Dunk's age. He's a bit old. And in other news, the next door neighbours, there was like 3 people out there yesterday and I heard a jackhammer again. Mad. Yeah, audiobooks. I'm listening to an audiobook because I can listen to them while I'm working, so I really love audiobooks. I have no time for physical books anymore, you know. I'd love to sit down and read books, but I got given a book by Dave not so long ago. He lent me a book and then he wanted to lend it to someone else, so I had to give it back before I'd even read the first page. Yeah, Jackhammer back in... Jackhammer back... Oh, we have... 1 second. Apologies for that. So yeah, the guy next door is still tweaking and editing things. There was 3 guys there. There was 1 guy just standing there on the phone all day, really, really loud, intermittent jackhammering, then grinding. It's just like they've done so much work on that. Just the front concrete patio thing. So much work, and it doesn't even look it doesn't look good. I don't know what they're so particular about. I don't know what's going on there. The recent addition was that they took all the concrete up in front of the steps. And they had like a really nice seamless concrete patio going to the front door. They've ripped up like a quarter of the concrete panel there and they put these tiles in place. So it goes concrete steps, concrete driveway, and then just like this square of these random coloured tiles that just cost them a fortune. It looks crap. I don't know why they've done it. And it doesn't even go to the road. It's just like a random portion of this different coloured tiles that doesn't match anything. And these like half walls where I think they're going to put a nameplate and a letterbox and stuff. Anyway, each to their own. Spend your money how you want. I just hope they don't take any more concrete up because it's days and days of jackhammering to get that concrete up, you know. While we're in a sort of stopped slow area, let me show you what I bought. This wasn't the package I just got, but I did buy. Let me see. I bought some beeswax. I'm currently using cling film to cover the top of my mortar and pestles for my pigments, and I wasn't really happy with how much cling film I'm using just to keep them airtight. So I thought I'd try some beeswax, and I'll cut them all to shape to fit on the bowls, and hopefully that'll fit nicely. I got quite a big roll, so I can cut them into small squares. I think you've got to warm it up like this and it gets sticky. There we go. The reason I got this actually was because I've been thinking about it. At the place I got my wife a coffee cup for Christmas, they also sell this. And I'd had my coffee cup for like 8-9 years, maybe a little bit like spectrum of me, but I really, really love that coffee cup, and it sort of broke my heart that it was gone. And so I had to get a new of the exact same cup. I do like that coffee cup. It's the perfect size. It's there's probably a few psychologists out there in the chat that are like raising an eyebrow at me. We like what we like. Are you opposed to using a jar with a lid that you can close at the end of the day? That's so much work. I have little mortar and pestles, and I want to keep the pigment in there. It's okay if it dries out a little bit. I can always just add a little bit of alcohol, and let me just show you what I'm talking about. Where are we? Like this, like this, like this. You can see it's dried out, and that's fine, but I need the cling film at least to keep out the dust. And if I'm printing for a couple days in a row, I want it to sort of stay moist. If I leave it for like a week, it'll dry out, but like I'm completely fine with that. But transferring those scrapings to a jar, it's not really practical. I'd like to keep it in a pot like that, so I can just add, and I like to have it in the mortar and pestle so that I can just get it going again quickly. And then I take bits of this and put it into other pots to make the colours I need to use. So yeah, I bought some beeswax wraps to cover this. That's why a jar with a lid doesn't work, because re-emulsifying, no, resuspending it is much easier in the mortar and pestles. So there is reason and rhyme to the things I'm doing. Here's a question for chat that I've been thinking about. If we are to cross stream, if I'm to also do YouTube live, figure that out when I've got some time. Do I go live on my main channel, Ginkgo Hunger, or do I go live on my VOD channel, which doesn't have very many subscribers? It's just sort of like archiving these streams, Ginkgo proofs. I'd go live on my main channel, right? What do you guys think? I really don't want my main channel to be sort of the long produced videos to sort of get lost in a sea of, live streams. But I think you can set it so that the live streams aren't saved. I haven't looked very far into this yet. So I think the live streams will still be saved on a separate channel. But I don't really want the live VODs on the video page. Hide the lives. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So still go live on my main channel, right? Yeah, you do also have those little navigation pads as well, I know. If you use the VOD channel, just make a post on your main channel. There will be no need to archive anymore, since you have no chat feed on the screen. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about, we're playing music in the background here, and the VOD is archived without the music, and I haven't done any research, I haven't done any, zero, into how that'll work on YouTube. And if cross-platform streaming means that I'll lose the music, I think that'll be a bit of a loss, actually. Because I know YouTube's quite strict on these things. I don't know if the loop around I'm using will work on YouTube as well. Yeah, main channel. That's what I'm thinking as well. Oh wait, main channel for compiled time lapse or final product, or channel for live and archive. Yeah, I'm enjoying having music in the background as well. I've actually no way to like rewatch back and see how you guys experience the live streams, because the music is gone, but like the audio levels you're actually receiving and stuff, I don't know. Yeah, I know, but I'm using Artlist. Was it artlist.io for my music and stuff? But this sort of jazzy, sort of old world jazzy stuff, there's not that much good stuff on these music providers. And I'm sure if I went onto Spotify or something, I could do like, what do you call it? Non-copyright strikeable music sort of playlist. But it'll just be worse. And at that point, maybe like no music is better. But this tune is a vibe, isn't it? And if you are VOD listening, just in the background, you put Golden Strings by Randall Stevens on. Maybe do a few music test streams. Yeah, that's true. And in that case, it might actually be better to use the second channel for that, because then we're not going to worry about copyright strikes on the main channel. Not that it will affect too much, but I think if you get a few, then they start to get a little bit funny with you, don't they? Yeah, I'm guessing the YouTube audio library will be something similar, you know. The music I'm putting on in the background, it's not like the normal music people are using for their videos on YouTube. Cinematic, sort of lo-fi, you can get a lot of jazz pop. To me, the music is mostly a distraction, although I've downloaded a playlist and done it on my own. Oh, you've downloaded my playlist? Oh, good. I think sometimes it can be a distraction. Depending on the topic. But like right now, we're not really talking about anything. We're breaking the fourth wall a little bit, and I think it's not very interesting to do that too much. You know, streaming to talk about the stream is not very interesting to me. I think I wouldn't enjoy watching a streamer talk about the technical aspects of the stream. I think it's not very good. You know, play the ball as it lies, but at times like this, I think music is probably quite beneficial to distract from the inanity of what we're actually talking about. You're here to watch the carving anyway, right? As interesting as the carving is. I saw on the Discord actually someone had been making their own Tokibo. They look really, really cool. I haven't had a chance to reply to them yet. But if you're here, who was it? If you are here, very good job. I like it. Links, just chatting, was it? No, Prince and Things? Nope. Nope. Bench Talk. Bench Talk, there we go. Spiegel. Very good job on your Tokibo. I like them. Nice little skinny Tokibo. They're really useful. I think they're probably more useful than the thicker ones you saw me making. Yeah, if it has to go, so be it. YouTube's actually not very happy with me because I haven't posted anything in a long time. And I got my first comment the other day in a while, sort of complaining about the lack of videos. I think it was in Spanish, but I translated the message and got the point that I should really should be working on some videos. It's been a busy old 2025. switch too soon. Bob never streamed a day in his life. Finito! Congratulations. Enjoy all your cleanup. Printing is a messy business. There's so much more. That's one thing about printing. Carving, you just sort of you sit down, carve a bit. 6 hours goes by. You stand up, you get a cup of tea, and you can sort of just like stop and start whenever. And if you've been doing some big clearing or something, you need to do a bit of a cleanup after. But a lot of it is just sort of get up like that, dust yourself off, and you carry on with your day. But printing is a commitment. Yeah, that's the correct way to say it. So you start, and then you're in it until you finish the stack. You can stop, but it's a faff to start back up again. But it's also, you've got an extra half an hour at least at the end of your day to sort of tidy up your space and then wash your brushes out and or you can have a stop and carve for 10 minutes anytime you like. Yeah. It's very accessible in a way that printing is not. That being said, it's better to sit down and have focus prolonged periods. Even this stream, just like an hour and a half, you've seen how the progress has gone on this block, carving like that. Oh, we're nearly at time. Is ASMR still a thing? You guys are talking about brushes on canvas and stuff. Is ASMR still a thing, or was that like a fad that's died out? Are people still watching ASMR videos? It was a bit of a tour de force on YouTube for a while. It's still a thing, but not as much as a fad anymore. I have no idea on YouTube anymore. I'm a little bit actually cross with the way YouTube is going because it's become my feed and algorithm has just become like it's incestuous. It's just the same 5 topics keep coming up, and they're not really topics that I've chosen to watch a lot. It's just sort of those are the ones that keep coming up because I have it on autoplay sometimes when I'm working in the studio here, and the next video is always like related to the first one, and it's become really. I used to have a really nicely, curated feed. I'd like watch lots of different stuff. There'd be all over the place. There'd be science stuff. There'd be art stuff. There'd be crafting. There'd be book stuff. And now I don't know how this has happened, but it's 30% Skyrim videos. It's anything George R. R. Martin, mostly only from 2 content creators though. There's Alt Shift X and Glidus. Those are the only 2 that show up on my feed. And what's the other? What's the other one? Occasionally, I'll get some Adam Savage videos coming up, but that's basically it. That's all my feed has become, and I hate it. I spend so long if I'm actively searching for something, but I don't know what I want to watch yet. It's totally broken yet. It's awful. So it's not just me. It's not just me. I thought it's because like I'd let a couple videos just roll and then AI has gone, wow, he really likes these Skyrim videos, and then it's just all Skyrim videos suggested to me. I enjoyed a Skyrim video. I like Skyrim. I don't want to watch Skyrim for 9 hours a day. It's definitely worse now, right? Yeah, it's awful. Although, if you're interested in watching some wrap ups, some reviews of the show we were talking about earlier, The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, some Glidus and Alt Shift X or Alt Shift X. Those are my suggestions. If the show is not enough. Yeah, click a video once and it bombards you with the same videos over and over again. To the point where, like, if I can't think of exactly what I want to watch, I don't have a choice of what I watch anymore. So I've backed away from YouTube a bit. I don't use it so much. I still do, obviously. And shorts are a curse, but I'm probably going to have to make some. But I hate them. I hate them so much. I think they're brain rot. I think they're awful. I think they're the worst thing about society at the moment. They're addictive and they're that for a reason. And I probably should make them for my channel, for the growth of my channel. I don't want to. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll decide. It's up in the air. Anyway, thank you for streaming. No, thank me for streaming. Thank me. And thank you for showing up. I think we're at time now. I gotta get back to some real tracing. I've gotta knuckle down and decide on where I want to draw the line, do that section, have a cursory glance over the rest of it, and then know when to stop. And then I gotta paste it down. Go through my watch history. Yeah, to get it to look better. It's just so much work. It's like, it was good. Put it back to how it was. Thanks for streaming. Thank you for watching. And we're out. Peace. Bye.